Greetings, Willow here again with another lesson in tarot. Today we're going to continue to work on the major arcana. We're going to be working from the Emperor all the way up to the Strength card, so that is numbers 4 through 8. So we're working with 5 cards today. Like I said, I'm going to break it up for you so they are not really long videos, and you can kind of focus a little bit more on the little section rather than all 22 cards at once. So today we're going to start with the Emperor. Now the Emperor is the number 4 card. So if you think about a number 4, it's a very balanced number. It's stable, it's stability. And that's actually what the Emperor is representing here. When we look at the Emperor card, we think of an emperor ruling over his country or his people, but he does it in a kind way, and he's very successful, and he's got that stability. Now, he also has the ability to take control and create even more success. So when we get this Emperor card, just remember that he is stability. He is also about ruling, so he follows rules, but the stability and the rules can lead to more success by just him taking control. So if you got this card in a reading, it would mean that either yourself, if you're reading for yourself, or your client, that they are in a good position of stability, and not just stability, but in a position of success. So it's kind of like if you look at the journey of the tarot, this is after you've created, after you've started your manifesting, after you've started to think and turn things in and turn your thoughts into things, you become successful and you become the Emperor. So that is our card that we're going to look at first. Now, if you want, you can look at all the symbology in there as well. So make sure you're looking at each one of the cards as I go over it. You can look at your own deck. Take your Emperor out and look, what does it say to you? How do you feel when you see this Emperor? Do you get a lot of strength from him, a lot of success from him? What are you getting from the Emperor card? Okay? But make sure you're taking notes, because that's going to help you down the road. The next one we're looking at today is the Hera Font. The Hera Font is about the knowledge that is available to us. Now, the world is full of knowledge, and we have more knowledge at our fingertips than we ever did when I was a kid. We used to have to get out the good old encyclopedias to get our information or go to the library. But now you can just pop over to the internet and get on Google, and you can find all kinds of things. Even on YouTube, you can find out a lot of things. So with the Hera Font, it's about that bank of knowledge that we can pull from. And a lot of times if you would see this come up in a reading, you would start to think, okay, maybe this person needs to see somebody in a position of authority or somebody with a lot of knowledge in a certain situation. So we may look at a doctor or a lawyer or somebody in a position like an employer. Maybe they need to go and talk to their boss about getting that raise or getting advice on a project, something like that. You also have to look at a little bit of the downside of this, because sometimes we want to use our knowledge as power in a negative way. So make sure that you're not just taking everything you hear as the truth, but go out and get second opinions, find out information for yourself. So that's what the Hierophant is representing, at least to me and generally. So, but once again, I want you to look at the image. I want you to write notes about how you feel about this card, because you're the one who's going to be interpreting through a reading. So just remember, take your notes down. And the next one we're going to look at today is the Lovers. And of course, everybody jumps to, oh, that means love and romance. And yeah, not really. Actually, the Lovers are about choice and making the right choices in your life. And when we think about the Lovers, we're also thinking about emotion, so the right emotional choices in your life as well. So when we look at this, the original card of the tarot was called the Choices card. And it was a man with two women, he had to choose which one was the right one. So it basically is just saying, make sure you're using your mind, your heart, your soul, everything to make the right choices. And so that's what this card's representing, the right choices in your life. So once again, you can look at the images, and of course you immediately think of romance, of sexual union, but it's really about choices. Because think about the relationships you've had. Have you made all the right choices? Have you chosen the wrong person, do you think? So that's also like an emotional choice. I always tell my clients when a card like this comes up is make the right emotional choices. And the way we do that is to ask ourselves, if I do this, is it for my best and highest good? Will it allow me to be the best me that I can be? And if you get an answer of yes, then that would be the right choice to make. So think about that in the Lover's card as choices, okay? Remember to look at the images, make sure you're taking notes. All right, our next card is the Chariot. So the Chariot is a card of willpower. It is about taking the reins of our life in our own hands and making sure we're going in the right direction. Sometimes we don't even create a situation. Sometimes we actually are just kind of stuck in a situation, but we don't have to lose our control. We still have the ability on our control about how we react to that situation. If something happens, do we freak out? Do we lose all our composure? Or do we go, all right, let's do this, let's take this head on and make the best of it. So think about the Chariot as taking the reins of your life in your hands. Are you sharing that with someone else? Because sometimes if we're in a partnership, like husband and wife, or two husbands, two wives, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you might be sharing that role of control. But as long as you're working in harmony, then it would be the right thing, okay? So the Chariot is about taking the reins of your life in your hands, going the right way, and knowing how to react in situations to keep your composure and keep your own control in your life. And finally, we're coming to the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is exactly that. It's very easy to interpret the Strength card. It is talking about having the strength enough to do whatever comes your way. You can face the challenges. You are strong enough and you believe in yourself with self-confidence that you're able to do whatever you need to do in that situation. And you should not fear that. If I see this card pop up in a reverse situation, if it's reversed, I usually remind the person how wonderful they are. I like to remind them how strong they are and that they need to believe in themselves and never doubt their abilities, because they have to keep trying, because failure just means you just got to try again. It doesn't mean you're done. So strength in our willpower, strength in our self-confidence, and not to take it to the extreme to think we're better than everybody else, because that is also a negative aspect of this card. You have to have strength, but with reason and using it in the right context, okay? So strength is strength, self-confidence, and knowing you got this, okay? But like I said, I want you to take a look at each one of your cards. When I chose this deck, this was actually the reason this card was shown as one of the images. This is why I chose the Gilded Tarot. It spoke to me. It was so powerful, and the colors and everything really resonated with me, and I needed this at that moment. So when I chose this deck, I was not at the strongest point in my life, but when I got the deck, it turned me around. It was like, I got this. I had just come out of a divorce. I was on my own for the first time in 12 years, and so it was a little scary, but the Strength card really meant a lot to me. So that's why I bought the Gilded Tarot the first time in 2013. But take a look at the images. How do they make you feel? Do they help guide you? Do they give you messages? But that's why I want you to take notes And I want you to meditate on each one of these cards too. When we do that, like I tell people to pick a card a day and meditate on it, see what they get from it. And those are important things. And always to remember to believe in yourself, and you can't do it wrong, remember? You're going to interpret it because it is a focus tool for you. You'll interpret it the way it means something to you. The way you see the strength card may be different than someone else that sees a strength card. Maybe you see it more as physical strength and they see it more as, tenacity and that kind of strength. So we just need to believe in ourselves when we're doing the tarot. Don't worry, you're not going to get it wrong. If you ever need to chat, you can always send me a text. Find my information on my website at willowleymachant.com. You can set up a personal reading there by contacting me through text or email. I will be happy to answer. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can contact me there as well. I am always open to answering questions for you. And if you want that private reading, then we can set aside a time for that to happen as well. But I hope this is helping. I'm going to work on the next set of cards for you and get that video up soon. But this one will come up probably tonight or tomorrow morning. So like Thursday night, Friday morning, hopefully I'll get this video up and out for you as well. And I'm also working on another channel. So it's going to be a light-hearted channel. It's going to be Willow's Witchy World. And I'm going to take you on adventures, and I'm going to show you craft projects. I'm going to take you out in the garden, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to show you a little bit about New Orleans. So stay tuned, and I'll have links to that as soon as I get that channel set up and ready to go. But until next time, be blessed.